Hi, Peter Boolkah here, and welcome to today's edition of The Transition Guy. Now, today I want to talk to you about video conferencing and my 5 top tips for how to make video conferencing work for you. Now, I've been really fortunate. I've been using video conferencing for the best part of 8 years now, and I was introduced to it initially by my client who specializes in video conferencing. And really what it did for me was it really allowed me to transform the way that I worked, but more importantly, instead of me just being a local company, it allowed me to be a global company, a global company trading locally, because I was able to build up a client base across the world. And this is one of the biggest areas of opportunities if we get it right with video conferencing, because we're not all now working remotely, but a huge portion of the population across the globe are now remote working. It gives us an opportunity to really set the standards for how we work tomorrow. So for me, when we look at it out there and we sort of take the 5 top tips, the first tip I would have for you is make sure that you choose a video conferencing solution that works for you. Now, if you look at it today, there are so many options available on the marketplace. You've got the Zoom, GoToWebinar, you've got Microsoft Teams, we've got FaceTime, we've got WhatsApp video, we've got Messenger video. I mean, there's loads. Now, over the last 8 years, I've been using Lifesize. The reason I use Lifesize is because they were the first one to market that were doing high definition video conferencing as standard. They built their video conferencing on high definition, which means they were the market leaders. And for me, especially with what I do, I needed that quality of image. I needed to be able to see the body language of the people in front of me, what they were doing, how they would react, etc. Because ultimately, it's about being able to form that bond, that connection with that person. So you've got to look at what is the right solution for you. And you've got to make sure that if you are going to be working at home, what would work for you domestically may not be the right commercial proposition. So really start asking, can they cope commercially? I know that when we sort of first had that massive push to work from home, a lot of people signed up to the free Zoom account. And I know that Zoom had challenges delivering and actually maintaining its quality, whereas I never had a problem at all. On my sort of video conference system, because it's a paid-for system, they maintained their quality, which was really important to me because I have to make sure that my output is the same every single time. So number 1, make sure you've got the right video conferencing solution. Number 2, make sure you've got the right equipment. What I mean by right equipment is that you've got equipment up to the task. So yes, right now everyone's been forced to work at home, and therefore a lot of people have got makeshift stuff, whether it's their iPad or tablet, whether it's a laptop, a desktop, etc. I mean, okay, most of us have access to a desktop or a laptop. I'm no different, but what I tend to do is a couple of things I do differently. So on my desktop machine, I always buy a separate webcam, because what I tend to find is that the webcam that comes with the desktop, although it's nice and it's put in there, it doesn't necessarily do the job to the standard I would like. So I always buy a supplementary webcam. I also buy a supplementary microphone, because perhaps the microphone, again, for me, sound quality is really important. If they're not getting the sound quality, they're not going to get the message. It devalues what I'm doing. So I try to make sure I'm best prepared as possible. And thirdly, always make sure I have a good pair of headphones. Now, you can use a speaker output in your laptop or your desktop, but the challenge is with that, it often reverberates, it echoes, and in that respect, if you're not careful, it can make it quite difficult for the other person to really be able to tune into your message. And also make sure you've got good broadband. As I say, we've been forced to work from home. A lot of us are not prepared for it. A lot of people are actually on domestic broadband packages, and they're not designed for commercial use. So you're not getting the download bandwidth that you need. You're not necessarily getting the upload bandwidth that you need. If you're on a domestic, your contention ratios could be quite high, which means you're not getting access to your data, which means that your call is often like a patchwork quilt or a jigsaw puzzle. Words are cutting out. You're hearing every third or fourth word, and you can't really string the conversation. So you've got to be properly set up. Now, you could get away with it the first couple of weeks because it was shock to everyone's system. And there's that degree of, okay, well, we'll make allowances. But as we're trying to build our businesses and become normalized to the new situation, those tolerances are going to go because people need to do business in the right way. So get yourself a checklist together and just see how you feel on that checklist and make sure you're ready to do business because people will be expecting it. Number 3, the right environment, so crucial. Make sure that you set up right. You've got a designated space, a space that you are not going to get interrupted in. And make sure it looks good as well. Make sure when you've got your environment that it's tidy, it's clean. You're not getting the cat jump on you and distracting you. You've not got an untidy bookshelf in the background that distracts from the message you are trying to give because people are more focused on what's happening in your house. That's where I think that sometimes it really does help to have quite a neutral background. And if not, get banners. You can get roller banners made up with messaging on it. You just want people to be focused on you and your message and not be thinking that this is through the keyhole and they can start snooping around your house and be more focused on your house than they are you. Number 4, be present and be prepared. Now, that is really important. Now, in a normal meeting, you can get away with things, especially if there's more of you, 4 or 5 of you, because eyes are not always on you. But as soon as you've got a screen behind you, as soon as you've got all these people looking at you, rules have changed. The rules of engagement are different. You're constantly on camera. And if you're not prepared, if you're not present, it sticks out like a sore thumb. You cannot get away with what you perhaps got away with before. Now, the flip side of that is everybody's a lot more focused. And what you tend to find is on a video call, you can normally do on a video call in 40 minutes what would often take an hour because everyone's just on it and it's just more intense. So that's something to bear in mind. And number 5, please be professional. I have seen some most horrific VC, and I would call them probably examples that are getting posted around Facebook. And yeah, at first they're novel and cute, but actually it depends on what kind of image you want to portray. And I always say, like, if you're going to go to an office, would you go to an office this way for a meeting? So would you have dressed down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Probably not. Would you turn up with your hair not done, your makeup not done, not shaved, not looking smart? Some industries you would, but in the majority of them you wouldn't. And a lot of people are sort of being really proud of the fact that they're looking disheveled. Oh look, I'm not shaven and I look like a bag of shit. Believe you me, that's nothing to be proud of. You've got to be professional. You've got to be ready to do business. Again, if you've got pets, that is cute. Not everybody's going to want to make best friends with your dog or your cat. You've got to be thinking professionalism. Yeah, you want to show the world your cat, your dog, take a picture of them, stick it on Facebook. But when you're in a meeting, you're in a meeting. You've got to be there for the other person. So be absolutely professional at all times. So just to recap that list. Number 1, choose the right video conferencing solution for you. Again, if this is going to be your new norm, make sure it's the right professional video conferencing solution and not domestic. Number 2, make sure you have the right equipment. Again, last couple of weeks, there's a degree of, okay, we'll have allowances. Going forward, people are going to be less tolerant. So make sure you're ready for business. Number 3, your environment. Create your best environment you possibly can. Look at the things you can do, as I've said. If you've got a small space, make that small space work for you. Keep it clean and tidy. You can crop in the webcam so it's on you, not on your wider area. You can create the impression of space when there isn't space. You've just got to be smart and creative about it. Number 4, be present and prepared. If you're not present and prepared, they're going to know, and you're doing the other people a disservice. And number 5, be professional. Now, if anything I've discussed today resonates with you, you want more information, talk about it, etc., head over to Boolkah.com. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you for tuning in today. Hope you got some great stuff out of it. Remember, failing to learn is learning to fail, but most importantly, please stay safe.